In this video, I'm going to show you a strategy which ICT himself said you can quit your job in 90 days from this one strategy alone. Yes, even ICT himself said you can become financially free from this one strategy alone. Now, this strategy combines the silver bullet, his own son's trading model, the 2022 mentorship model, and because there's so many different models and different strategies that you can trade when it comes to ICT, it can be very confusing for a lot of new traders. So I've completely simplified it down in this trading plan right here, and we're going to go through it step by step, following the trading plan. And remember, it's a rule-based idea to look for a time-based model. Just so you know, guys, this isn't just me saying that you can quit your job in 90 days from this strategy alone. ICT himself says it, and it's good to know that ICT himself is confirming this strategy, unlike a lot of other ICT traders out there. So let's get started on how to quit your job in 90 days from this one strategy alone. So first things first, what time do we trade the strategy? Now, we don't just trade at any random time, we trade at specific times only. So what you're going to do is you're going to mark out the 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. New York time. Now, if you're in the UK, it's going to be 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. So this is the New York time that we're going to stick to, and this is the New York session that we're going to be trading. And another key rule is we're going to be on the 5-minute time frame mainly, and we're also going to be dropping down to the 1-minute time frame. So as you can see, I've marked out my time window here, 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. We're following the rules step by step, we're sticking to the trading plan. Now, after we've done the time, what we're going to look for next is liquidity. So what do we look for? We identify and annotate the first 5-minute time frame buy side or sell side liquidity swings before 9:30, before our time window opens, and you can also look out for any liquidity points formed just after 9:30 open. So let's go over to the charts and let's do that now. And this is a basic concept when it comes to ICT and smart money trading overall. Liquidity is resting above or below old highs and old lows. So as you can see, we've got an old high right here, so this is going to be a high where liquidity is resting above. And as you can see, we've got relatively equal lows right here with this main 5-minute low, so this is going to be our sell side liquidity resting below these lows. And again, buy stops or buy side liquidity is going to be resting above these highs. Keep it very, very simple. Now that we've spotted our liquidity before 9:30, we move on to market structure shift and displacement. Now, what do I mean by this? So the main rule is once buy side or sell side liquidity is swept on the 5-minute time frame that we just identified, we then drop down to the 1-minute time frame and annotate the current valid swing candle, and then wait for the market structure shift with displacement. Now I'm going to break this down on the charts to make it a bit easier for you guys. So as you can see, we've marked out our liquidity points here. So all we're going to be waiting for is a liquidity sweep in either direction. It can either sweep up or it could sweep down, whichever direction. Remember, there's no daily bias needed for this. All you're waiting for is a liquidity sweep in either direction. You can stay on the 5-minute time frame, or you can drop down to the 1-minute time frame after the 5-minute sweeps. So as you can see, we're just going to drop down to the 1 minute now. That price has swept this buy side liquidity from above this high right here. So now that price has swept the liquidity, we're going to go down to the 1-minute time frame and annotate the current valid swing candle and wait for the market structure shift. Now let me break down what this looks like on the chart. So all we're going to do is let price play on the 1-minute time frame, and all we're going to do is wait for a valid structural point to be created. We can look for that market structure shift in the opposite direction. So now in this case, because price has swept liquidity to the upside, and as you can see, it was bang on at 2:30 or 9:30 open in New York time, price began to move up aggressively and sweep the buy side liquidity resting above these highs. So now that price has swept liquidity to the upside, we're going to be looking for that reversal in the opposite direction. Now what gives us the confirmation to look for that reversal in the opposite direction? It's going to be dropping down to the 1-minute time frame to wait for that market structure shift. And the key here is, guys, displacement. We don't want to enter trades that aren't showing displacement. So as you can see, we've got an obvious low right here, and this is going to be where our market structure shift area will be. So we're going to mark out that swing candle right there, and all we're waiting for is a market structure shift from this low right here. And don't forget, we do also have a high right here. So remember, price could also sweep additional liquidity to the upside before then making that market structure shift to the downside. And as you can see, price just tanked down without sweeping that liquidity, so that's completely fine because we do have that market structure shift overall. So as you can see, following the trading plan, we marked out our time, we spotted our liquidity before the 9:30 open, and then we got our market structure shift and displacement. Now you might be wondering, what does displacement look like? Well, this ties into the next point here, which is the FVG, or the fair value gap, some of you may know it as. So after price shifts structure with displacement, we look for a fair value gap in that displacement leg. Is there a fair value gap to enter off? Now, if I go on the charts and show you right now, you can see we do have a body closure below. And what else do we have in this break of structure, in this market structure shift leg right here? We have a fair value gap right here, as you can see with these 3 candles. So now that we have the liquidity sweep, now that we have the market structure shift in the opposite direction, we also have a fair value gap. And it's clear to see we do have displacement with all of these candles closing very bearish And again, we have another candle closure below. So it's quite obvious that we do have displacement in this area of price right here. So we do have displacement, and we also have a fair value gap to enter off. So now we're going to tick this off. So now that you followed the trading plan, you've got all the correct confirmations. What do you do? Now, for those of you that are familiar with the channel, and by the way, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Now, if you haven't already watched my silver bullet video where I explain how the secret hack increases the profitability and win rate when it comes to finding trades with a balanced price range, I highly suggest that you go ahead and watch that. And just a reminder before we carry on, guys, the special offer for the Signals Room is still available for $1 a day. You get access to my chart work, my analysis, and my exact live trade, psychology tips, and much more, guys. The value in here is absolutely crazy. We smashed Take Profit 2 today. We were up 21R in the Signals Room last month. This week we're smashing it. So go ahead and join right now for literally $1 a day. The value in there is absolutely crazy. And remember, if you want to get funded 100% guaranteed, we will pass the funded challenge for you, or you don't pay a single penny. Now, what do I mean by this? If we fail the challenge for whatever reason, we've never ever failed before, but if we do for whatever reason, you get a full refund, what you paid for the challenge and what you paid us for the service, so you cannot go wrong. We have the fastest passing algorithm. We literally funded a $100,000 challenge in 5 minutes. Our fastest pass, which we passed a 6-figure account in, is literally 2 minutes. We funded a client $200,000 in 2 minutes. So they came to us at the funded fast service, and 2 minutes later they were a 200k funded trader. Absolutely life-changing opportunity. You no longer need to gamble your own funded challenges or spend forever trying to pass your funded challenge to only fail in the last step. We save that time, we save that stress, and we get you funded in minutes. So go ahead, send a message to @fundedfast on Telegram right now, or join the group in the description below. The link to this will be in the description below. There's a lot of people pretending to be us, so make sure it's this link specifically that you're using. So go ahead, take advantage of this opportunity, guys. It's a zero risk investment, and it's literally a guaranteed funded account waiting for you. I want all of my viewers to be funded. I want all of my viewers to have access to capital to trade with and make real profits in the live markets, and with those you can do exactly that. Any account size is a guaranteed pass, and we have the fastest passing algorithm. As you can see, a 200k account passed in literally 2 minutes. We have the fastest passes in the industry, so go ahead, take advantage of this opportunity. Go ahead and get yourself funded. Remember, join the Signals Room right now for literally $1 a day. The special offer is still available, and the link to this will be in the description below, so go ahead and join. And remember, my completely free community will also be in the description below, so go ahead and join that. So now that we've got our fair value gap and our balanced price range in this example identified, we're going to set a limit order slightly above or below the FVG, as price will fill the fair value gap. So you guys may know the different types of executions. We have a sell limit in this example because we're looking for a sell. We place our entry right here. Now the next step, where do we place our stop loss? Well, we place our stop loss above or below the swing point of the market structure shift that we found. Now in this case, we place our stop loss above the high right here because we are looking for sells. So we place our stop loss slightly above the high right here. So now that we found our entry and we found our stop loss, where do we place our take profit? And quite simply, we just take profit at opposing liquidity. Now I like to have a set risk to reward where I take profits. I always ensure that that risk to reward that I set always lines up with opposing liquidity. Now my set risk to reward is usually always a 1 to 2.5, and as you can see, it's pretty much perfectly in line with the opposing liquidity that we spotted on the 5-minute time frame prior to our 9:30 open. So let me just run you through the checklist one more time. We found our time that we're going to be trading, we found our liquidity that we identified and looked for a sweep of, and then we found that market structure shift and displacement of that liquidity prior to our trading time. Simply, we found a fair value gap to enter off. We placed our entry there. We had a set stop loss, and we also had a set take profit at opposing liquidity, and also in this case at a 1 to 2.5 risk to reward ratio, as you can see right here. So what can we expect price to do? Quite simply, we can expect price to rebalance into this fair value gap area, to then move down and attack sell side liquidity resting below these lows right here, and attack this overall sell side liquidity, because as you can see, we do have clear sell stops below these lows right here. And remember, this is all rule based and we're sticking to the plan. So now we'll let price play out and we'll see what happens. And this was literally today as well, and you guys can ping pong the market with this exact strategy. I'll go into that in a different video. So now that our trade is ready and we followed all the rules, let's see what price does to our entry area. As you can see, price tanks towards our area, sweeps that liquidity perfectly, and we get a reversal in the opposite direction. And remember, all you need is 1 trade a day for this strategy. And remember, this trade was found using only these rules right here, guys. And ICT himself says you can quit your job from this one strategy alone. You guys don't need to overcomplicate it. All you need is these steps right here. You don't even need a daily bias for the strategy. And I know it's hard for a lot of you to find the daily bias and find the overall directional bias. You don't even need the overall bias for this strategy, although I would highly recommend that you do have a bias before trading any strategy, because it does help. So that's it for today's video, guys. And remember, if you want to get funded quickly and 100% guaranteed, we will pass the challenge. With us, it's a 100% guaranteed pass. Remember, if you want to join the Signals Room for literally $1 $1 a day, $30 special offer right now. And remember, if you want to join the Signal Dream, which we smashed 2 hours in literally today, go ahead and join. The link to that will also be in the description below. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to share this video with a friend, because this is literally all you need to become a profitable trader. If ICT himself is saying it, it aligns with the silver bullet, it aligns with his son's trading model, with the 2022 mentorship model. This is all you need. I've literally given you everything. And that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.